Hey everyone, welcome back, and this is another anime review. Now, I gotta tell you, I really gotta tell you, I am disappointed here. Of course, I'm reviewing Higurashi no Naku Koroni Kaku Outbreak, the movie. This hour-long piece of shit. Now, lots of people will tell you that, but most people, I find, the only reason they dislike it is because they say it tarnishes the name of the original Higurashi series, which, you know what? I don't think is necessarily true, okay? I think this movie could have been really good if it would have been good. And I know that's kind of vague, but what I'm trying to say is that I would have been perfectly fine with this movie existing if the writers actually knew what the fuck they were doing and knew how to write a goddamn story to save their lives, okay? But unfortunately they didn't. Which brings me to this review. So the main premise is very simple. It's only an hour long, so they didn't have enough time to really do anything too complicated, you know. It's pretty much just like pretty much the length of 2 episodes in Higurashi, okay? Seriously. Oh my god, like, the premise is so simple. It's like there's this, it's a retelling of the original series, but where there's this virus that's spreading in Hinamizawa. However, this time around, outside forces come in to quarantine Hinamizawa, and apparently the Sonozaki family is trying to get the quarantine to go away, but they won't, and blah blah blah. It's very simple, and they do not explain anything. I got pissed off at Kai for not answering like 2 or 3 of the questions I had that had built up over the first 2 seasons, over the original season and Kai, okay? But this doesn't explain so much. Like, what is this new virus? Is it the same as the Hinamizawa syndrome from the original series, or is it something different? It never really appeared to have any of the have any of the effects of the original Hinamizawa syndrome. So is it something different, or what the fuck's going on with that? Why is everyone trying to kill Rena and Keiichi and anyone who helps them? I mean, I don't recall there being a rule against outsiders coming into the village. Like, I mean, I believe there were some people in the original series that did look down on outsiders, but no, I don't think anyone really tried to kill them just specifically for being outsiders, okay? In fact, I believe the only people who really tried to kill in the entire series were people who were infected by the Hinamizawa syndrome. But again, we don't know anything about that here, okay? Let's see here. What else? Oh yes, once again, they try to make Mion's grandmother likable, which is still not fucking working for me. It's really not. Fuck that stupid cunt. Okay? In case I haven't stated that enough yet in my videos, well, there you go again. She does not deserve my fucking sympathy. Apparently she died, or at least went to illness in this film too. It was referenced at, which I found so splendid. Like, really, I did. But anyways, though, moving away from that, though. Also, the movie has no ending. Seriously, it doesn't fucking end. Like, oh yeah, before I get to that, apparently Irei committed suicide. Like, okay, if you want to change some things from the original series, I'm fine with that, but at least keep characters in character, okay? The only time he would commit suicide was when he was infected by the Hinamizawa syndrome. But again, we did not get any fucking information if it's the actual Hinamizawa syndrome or not. So seriously, that's fucking horseshit. And now let's get to the no ending part. Yeah, there is no ending to this movie, okay? It's an hour of bullshit with no ending, and I don't know why. Like, maybe they didn't have time, maybe they ran out of budget so they couldn't continue it, as if this movie has a very big budget to begin with, which I highly doubt, but I'll get to that later. Maybe they're planning on a sequel in the future. Maybe they were just fucking stupid. I think the latter is probably the most likely. Uh, I don't really know. But it has no ending. The story of this movie is not concluded. Okay? So, yeah. It's, what am I supposed to say about that? Like, I mean, I highly doubt this movie would have got much better if it lasted an extra hour. I mean, granted, I think it would have been a little bit better if it would have been longer, but I highly doubt it would have been great if it lasted an extra hour or an hour and 30 minutes even. But still, though, I would have at least expected them to conclude the story that they fucking started, which they didn't. It's even worse than what Kai did, because Kai at least had a concrete conclusion. It may have refused to answer 2 or 3 of the questions that I had, but it at least had a concrete conclusion. Okay. This movie did not. Outbreak did not. Bullshit. Okay? Seriously, bullshit. So the plot is just all over the place. It makes no fucking sense. It makes even less sense than the plot in the original fucking series. And I didn't think that was physically fucking possible. Like, that's an accomplishment if I've ever seen one. Okay? And not a good accomplishment. Okay? Like, making your movie good. That would be a good accomplishment. This was not a good fucking accomplishment. Okay? And yeah, and the characters, at least the main characters, the ones that were here at least, which were Rika, Satoko, Neon, no sign of Shion in the movie. Unless that was Shion, who knows? Maybe that could have been secretly Shion, but either way. And Keiichi and Rena. All 5 of them, I like them because they're pretty much the same characters that they were in the original series. So if they happen to be the exact same characters that they were in the original series, then they can't very well fuck them up. So at least they got that right. Okay, but one thing I didn't understand is Rika's really able to just slaughter people without remorse. I mean, she is kind of young too. I know her life's in danger, but still, you'd think she'd feel something for that. I mean, granted, she did in the original series, but in the original series, again, she was infected by the Hinamizawa syndrome. Even if this virus is the Hinamizawa syndrome, she's obviously not infected by it because she's trying to save everyone. She's not trying to just kill people who aren't trying to kill her first, okay? She's not fucking crazy in this movie. So the fact that she's able to kill people like that is kind of concerning, maybe? I don't know. It's not really concerning. I just thought it was kind of weird how she's able to kill people, like, basically just slaughter them like that, cut them up like that without remorse. And so is Keiichi with his baseball, with Satoshi's baseball bat and his own gun as well. So yeah, it's really kind of weird, really kind of just bad. Okay, it really is. Like, God, is there anything good about this movie? The art, I've always had to complain about, so there's nothing much to say there. The animation, for the most part, kind of sucks. I do think it's better than in anything else I've seen in Higurashi so far, but that's not saying a lot. The budget here was obviously really fucking small. They obviously didn't have much budget at all because the animation, although better than before, still kind of sucks. Okay, for the most part. And the music's really the only major, really the 5 main characters in this film, and the music's really the only major, like, compliment I can give to the only 2 major compliments I can really give to the movie, because the music's really good as always. Okay, and obviously I already talked about the 5 main characters, how much they're pretty much the same as they are in the original series, which means that I'm obviously going to love them by default. Okay, I also appreciate that they didn't have any of that stupid comedy at Keiichi's expense in this movie, but if they did, then they would have even had less of a plot. And it wouldn't have even gotten as far as it did, and yet it still had no ending, so they really couldn't afford that, but I do have to say that I at least appreciate that. Oh, God. So, overall, what can I say about this movie? it's crap, okay? It really is, and it's really disappointing because I thought that it could have been really good, okay? That's the thing. That's the key thing here. It could have been really good, but it wasn't. It really kind of sucks because it was just had crappy writing. It was way too short. I think it should have been at least like an hour or an hour and 30 minutes long, even, or maybe even 3 hours long. Although that would have definitely been the limit, and very few movies, whether they're animated or live action, deserve to actually be 3 hours long. But still, it still wouldn't have prevented it from being kind of bad because the writing is still really bad. They might have been able to fix the pacing a bit, but there's other stuff about the writing, as I mentioned before, which kind of sucks. Okay, so really, I can't recommend this movie at all, unless you're hellbent on, well, watching everything Higurashi like I was. By the way, it's the 11th of November already, and I'm still doing my Higurashi, my Halloween marathon. Yeah, I'm really slow with it, you know. But anyways, so yeah, but that's pretty much my review, though. I just wanted to get this review out there and just say, yeah, I hated this movie like everyone else did, but for completely different reasons. Again, I don't care if Higurashi had a completed story, which it didn't, by the way. But this could have been really good, but it just wasn't, and it's, for that, to me, it's so fucking disappointing. So anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.